Hello, and welcome back to Off the Cuff, the podcast where two best friends talk everything about our favorite sports and eSports topics from the past week. My name is Hylander, and joining me as per usual is my lovely best friend, JT. JT, how are you doing this week?
I am fantastic. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. You know, I've been stuck on the Diablo grind.
Ooh.
It's been fun. And yeah.
I have not.
It's probably for the best, honestly.
Yeah.
Before we get started, thank you for listening and or watching this podcast. If you want to check us out live, we are recording this podcast. When we are recording this podcast, head over to twitch.tv/offthecuffpod, where we stream every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be able to chat with us in between segments and be part of a live show. Feel free to check us out on YouTube if you're listening to this podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, check out all of our audio options over at anchor.fm/offthecuffcast.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great time to remind you to like this video if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on whatever listening platform you're on right now. Anyone in our chat at this moment who isn't following us, I highly recommend you go do so right this second. And yeah, I think now it's time for your favorite part of the day.
My favorite part of the show, which is the beginning part of the show. You know it. You love it. If you're new here, you're going to love it. It's Highlander's Quick Quiz. That was a lot of pop and circumstance for not much.
That really was. I was waiting to hear like din din din. You know, like something was coming.
We're not quite there yet. There yet. I probably could have done something like that if I had thought about it before. But anyway, last week on Highlander's Quick Quiz, we saw Highlander miss his NRL 400 question. It was a hard question. I got to give it to him. And unfortunate for him, but let's see what happens this time as he prepares to redeem himself. Spin the wheel.
Ready.
Let's go. Slow and slow. Oh, no. MLB for 500.
Listen.
No.
After being on the grind of Diablo since 3 a.m., I don't think this is going to be well.
Oh, no. Okay, well, he hasn't gotten a single MLB question yet. He's sitting at a negative 500 points. He's probably going to make a negative 1,000 because I don't even know if I'd be able to. I don't even know if I'd be able to solve this one if I was giving it to it before.
Listen,
I believe in you.
I'm about to hit a home run like never before.
Okay, we'll see. This famous author and baseball fan built a ballpark named Field of Screams.
Come again?
This famous author.
No, wait a minute.
And baseball fan built a ballpark named Field of Screams.
Ron Burgundy. Final answer. Final answer. I have no idea.
Ron Burgundy.
That's what just going.
Oh man. Okay. Is it Ron Burgundy? Let's find out.
Definitely not.
It is Stephen King, Highlander.
What?
Stephen King.
Okay. Well, now I feel like an idiot. That was really easy.
But it was like too easy.
Field of Screams. I'm an idiot.
It was like too
famous.
Famous author.
Now that I look at it, I'm like,
makes all the sense in the world.
I thought it meant like a famous baseball author.
Oh.
So I'm like, there's no shot I'm getting this.
No.
But now it makes sense. Famous author, Field of Screams. Yeah, that actually, yeah. You know what?
Well, unfortunate break for Highlander. 2 unlucky rolls in a row. NRL for 400 and then MLB for 500. And that question seems easy once you know the answer, but when you're flailing around thinking of an author, because me and you, we don't read very often. We're not big readers. Are you a big reader?
I do like to read from time to time.
I'm a big audiobook listener. That's my jam.
I've never delved into the audiobooks. I probably should at some.
I thought about recording one myself, but
Oh,
that's for a later date, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know how to even go about that. But anyway, Highlander sitting at negative 1,000. It's hard to come back from that. His record is now 4-4. You're even. You're dead even. So he's lost on a lot of big questions. He's won a lot of easy questions. And, 500 points for, and 1,500 points missed out on. So, unfortunate. We'll see if he can bounce back. There's still easily half of the board left in this Season 1 of Highlander's Quick Quiz. So, we'll see what happens in the next installment of Highlander's Quick Quiz. And, so, Highlander, before we go into any NFL news, do you have anything breaking? Anything urgent?
No.
Nothing urgent? No. Okay. Well, I do for once. I mean, not really breaking, and it's not that urgent, I guess. It doesn't actually affect the sport of NFL at all, but those of you who may know a man named Travis, not Travis. Is that Travis?
I thought it was.
Was it Travis? Travis. Yes. There's also a guy in the thing named Tyler. I get those two mixed up all the time. Travis Rudolph. He was a NFL player for a very brief stretch, 1 year with the Giants, where he played 7 games back in 2017 from Florida State University. Travis Rudolph. I thought he was Eric Rudolph? Kyle Rudolph, but no. One's a tight end, one's a wide receiver. Travis Rudolph has a murder case against him currently that's in trial, and it has been in trial for the past 8 days. Now, 8 weekdays, obviously, not weekends. And today, the closing arguments happened against Travis. And so, quick little story time. So, Travis did end up killing a man, and then he wounded another man. Long story too short, too long, didn't read. He was dating this girl. This girl got jealous that he was talking to somebody else, something like that. She went to her brother and said, "Hey, I want you to deal with this." And he said, "No worries, I got you." And so he and 4 or 3 of his friends, 4 people in total, got in the car, went to his house at night, went inside of his house to confront him and maybe kill him. I don't know. They had a gun in their pocket, maybe multiple guns. But so they got into a little argument, a little scuffle, a little fight broke out, and 4v1. I mean, Travis was there with his brother and his mother, and so the brother was kind of involved, but they were mainly just on Travis. So 4v1. Travis then goes inside the house to get his gun because he feels threatened. Obviously, he was in a fight, and so they run off. They go back to their car, and Travis comes out and he shoots at them as they're leaving. And so, this seems like a very shut and close self-defense case until the prosecution is trying to get him on the moment in between the scuffle and him getting the gun and coming back out. Does he then become the pursuer and not the defender anymore? So that's the whole angle that they're going on with this case. And you got to stop and say, maybe, I could see the argument because, you go back inside, you get the gun to see if maybe they do anything else. And if they don't, I don't know. I don't know. Knowing that they did have a gun was never brandished on the 4 guys' side. It just stayed in their pockets. Travis said that he saw the gun, or he saw a gun, or he thought he saw a gun. That's why he opened fire as they were getting into the vehicle. And it's a sticky situation. It's a hard situation. I think he's innocent. Heat of the moment, that kind of adrenaline rush pushes you over the edge. He might have saw something that he didn't see, or maybe something was there. Who knows? And it's a very. I thought this guy was a big part of the NFL too. I didn't know that he was only a 7-game and then done guy, because he only played 7 games for the Giants and he was done. So that's the case. And I've been following it for the past couple of days. Like I said, I don't normally follow cases, but I thought he was a bigger deal than he was ultimately, which is why I was interested. So anyway, Highlander, what do you think about that?
Definitely a situation.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting that that even would happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it was one of those things where we'll have to see how that plays out.
Mm-hmm. It's 2017. Did you hear anything about this guy? You thought he sounded familiar, but then we probably just got him confused.
Honestly, I know of Kyle Rudolph pretty well.
Right, because he's a pretty
Travis
solid
Rudolph,
tight end.
Never even. Did this guy actually play?
He played. He played 7 games.
No?
Yes.
Really?
I think so. Let me do some double checking.
I was gonna say because I don't remember actually because I usually watch that kind of thing really well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
So yeah. So college FSU. I want to see where he got drafted, but I don't know if I can find that.
So in the NFL, he had 8 receptions for 101 yards, 0 touchdowns, 12.6
21
average.
targets over the course of 7 games. So he got a reception a game pretty much, with one game having 2 receptions.
So 2017, was that the year the Giants were really bad?
I think so.
Because
because they were bad for a long time.
Pretty sure this guy was probably just a a
slot receiver, pretty much, who just didn't play much. Not even.
He was special teams, I think, and then just came out at one point because they needed someone.
The Giants in 2017 were 3-13.
Yeah, that was one of the years that they were really bad.
Really bad. Because obviously the Eagles won the whole thing, right? 2017.
Yeah, 2017 was the year. Yeah, was the year the Eagles won it all.
The Eagles went opposite of them at 13-3. Yeah. So anyway,
I want to say that was that the year that the Giants spent $200 million all on defense. Their defense just never showed up.
I couldn't tell you.
I think that's the year that everything. That was a very bad year to be a Giants fan.
Yes, it was. But so that's interesting. I thought they were going to deliberate on the case today, which is why I brought it up today. Probably should have just waited until next week because they didn't actually do the deliberation. It was just the closing arguments, and then they're going to deliberate tomorrow. So tomorrow, Wednesday, aka yesterday, Wednesday, when this show comes out. Yes, Highlander?
I just thought of something. Speaking of cases.
Sure.
Why has there been nothing on Jackson Mahomes yet?
Yeah, I was looking at that too because I was thinking the same thing.
Is there any new news on that, or is that just
not from what I could find, unless something literally just came out?
Johnson County judge to allow Jackson Mahomes to file documents under something. That was 4 hours ago.
Yeah, I just saw the same thing. Seeks to communicate with witnesses. So he wants to communicate with witnesses. I mean, there's a camera right there, Jackson.
I mean, the camera kind of shows.
The camera don't lie, man.
I just want to point out, any other person would be doing the time by now, but because this man has Mahomes on his last name, is the only reason why nothing has been happening yet. They don't want the Mahomes name ruined.
Yep. As if it already hasn't been.
But it's disgusting to see that apparently you can go ahead and sexually assault someone now and not get punished for it. Right. Even if you get caught on live footage.
Uh-huh. Oh boy.
That's just when you said cases, I just thought of that and I'm like, it's been months now since that happened, I want to say.
Yep.
And the only thing he got was a slap on the wrist where he got taken into custody that one time and then paid his bail. And that was it.
Yep. I mean, he paid his bill this time, too. $100,000 in just a matter of hours after the incident happened.
Well, I mean, of course. I wonder where he got that money from.
Right. Jeez. Anyway, well, that's... Yeah,
that's what, it's kind of sad that right now the NFL is in such an off season that's the news.
That's
for the NFL.
News.
Really.
Yeah, I do want to get your opinion on the Bills picking up Leonard Floyd.
Leonard Floyd,
yeah, pass rusher.
Okay,
yeah, they picked up him recently.
Veteran. I do like the pickup. Helps out their defense. In my opinion, one thing that the Bills definitely lacked out last season, especially at the end of the season, was getting to the quarterback.
And stopping the run.
Yeah,
but that's every year.
I feel like late in the season, the Bills have this habit of just forgetting defense is the best way to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll watch them be the most dominant team all season long. So you're like, oh yeah, this team is winning the Super Bowl. There's no team that can stop them.
Yep.
They can stop any team. And then you watch them in the playoffs, and a team would just run through them with ease. And you just sit there and go, well, this is not the same team. Then again, though, I mean, at this point, until the Bills actually make a good run in the playoffs and make the Super Bowl, I'm just saying this Bills team so far has been a flop.
I was just wondering, because I know there was some speculation about Ed Oliver leaving the team, but I just saw 7 hours ago, Ed Oliver extension created the salary cap needed for the Leonard Floyd addition. So
look at that.
His extension also cleared up some room for Leonard Floyd to come in. So
love that.
Very nice. That must have happened recently too, because inside the Ed Oliver deal 8 hours ago. That must have just happened as well.
I just seen something about the Bills also cut a running back today.
Oh.
Let's never heard of him. Isaiah Bowser.
Okay, yep. He should be more obsessed with peaches, I think. and not football.
Okay. Well, you know what?
That's one for me.
I'll give you that one.
Thank you. Thank you. Plus one. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Thank you. Oh, that's good.
Did you just give yourself a little victory tune?
Well, it'll be an actual tune in editing, so it's fine.
Well,
I was going for the Mario, one up, like.
Look, it's a good thing you're doing the editing and not me, because I would just leave. I would just leave it there to have that sound. Be like, yeah, that's the victory.
I might still leave me there to make that. Do that. Well, I still might. I might forget. It's very possible that I'm going to forget.
There's a good chance of that happening.
Yeah.
On other news, I mean, I think it's tomorrow, if I remember correctly, the Madden cover will be revealed.
Ooh.
Rumors and leaks have it that it is Josh Allen who's winning the cover.
Nice.
This has sparked a lot of controversy.
He should not win it, no.
Because people are saying the quarterback with one of the most interception rates last year beats it over some MVP candidates, which, I mean, Eagle fans are like, listen, let him have it. We don't want the Madden curse.
True.
So now everyone's like, listen, Allen's going to get it and break his leg in the first game of the season because the Madden curse, I mean, let's look at the Madden curse and let's just say what's happened with the Madden curses. Let's really look at it.
How dare you? Know what?
There hasn't even been injuries lately, actually, if you think about Madden curses. The best one to look at is Antonio Brown. Man was on the cover, and then look where he's at now. That man's lost his mind since that cover.
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Vince Young was on the cover, and 2 years later, he quit NFL and went on that crazy suicide thing.
Yeah.
The Madden curse there's only one quarterback and one player so far to counter the Madden curse, and that's been Patrick Mahomes.
And he's a cheater.
Well, a lot of Eagle fans would agree with that. But, listen, let's play on a real field that's not like a wet, like a flooded river, and let's see what happens.
Let's play another playoff game where we get another shot at going down the field instead of you just winning it. How about that?
You know what? Fair play. You know what? Again, that Super Bowl, it's bad when the team that has the most sacks the whole season long doesn't get to a hobbling Mahomes once.
Nope, not at all.
Because why? You literally have players going, my feet are sliding everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems about right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically all the Damar Hamlin participated in team drills.
Yep.
This week. So that's exciting.
Seems like he's coming back full strength.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. Again, I hope they don't rush him too soon.
Right. Yeah, me too.
Because again, that is a scary incident that he had.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to see him get rushed into it and something worse happens to where this time he doesn't come back.
Right.
So it's one of those things where I really hope they don't plan on starting him week 1. Which, again, that'd be mind-blowing. But again, I'm happy to see that he's doing well enough to participate in team drills.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if he keeps this up, then it's very possible that he could start week 1.
Oh, yeah. It just all depends on his health. Like, that's the thing. It's all about the health at this point.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
What does it mean? What are you going to hit me with this time?
Oh God! Hold on. What sport is next?
You should know this.
What? I don't know why my head is going to baseball, but I think it's basketball.
You have been obsessed with baseball the past couple of weeks. What is wrong with you?
I don't know. For some reason, basketball is just in my head. Basketball is over for some reason, and I don't know why. But I'm gonna alley-oop it to you.
Okay.
For some basketball news.
I think you did that one before.
Did I? All right. Maybe. Well, then guess what? I'm gonna dish you a pass to some basketball news.
Okay. I think the real term you were looking for there was dime me a pass, but it's fine.
Wait, what? Dime?
Yeah, a dime. A dime is like a good assist.
Listen, see, this is why where's baseball?
It's coming soon. Don't worry.
TM, I hope.
Yeah, soon TM. Yeah. So basketball news. I was completely wrong about the series being like over by this week. We've only had 2 games. That's all we've had the entire time. This whole week we've had 2 games, and
okay.
Yeah. So the Nuggets won game 1.
Not surprising.
Who do you think won game 2, Highlander?
Nuggets.
It was the Heat.
Oh,
it was, and the games have been pretty close actually. Very surprising turn. I mean, the Nuggets won by I think 11 in game 1, which wasn't like a blowout, but it wasn't close, but it wasn't a blowout, so that was fine. And then the Heat ended up taking one 3-point victory over them last night, I think. Maybe not last night, but game 3 is tomorrow. And if you're watching it now, you know what happened because it was yesterday, technically. If you're listening,
tell us. Comments. Tell us.
Tell me what. Oh yeah, comments. Tell us who won. Actually, I probably will know who won. Tell Highlander who won. Tweet us at Highlander. What? No, that's probably a different Twitter username.
Some random person will be like, "What is you?"
Yeah, at Highlander. Oh man, that'd be a clean username. Anyway, yeah. So here we go. 104-93. Denver game 1, and then 111-108 Heat game 2. So that's absolutely massive for them to get that road win, snag 1 at their place, and then you got 2 at home. So could the Heat really capitalize on this? I don't know, because they kind of lost a lot of momentum because they were up 3-0 against Boston, right? And so they lost 3 straight. So they lost 2 at home before having to win one on the road in Game 7. So have they been all that impressive at home? Not in the past series. And so hopefully they come out hot. Because I still want the Heat dream to be alive. I'm not, I don't really care who wins, honestly, because both of them deserve it. I mean, I would love to see Jokic win his first because he's been there. I just keep saying this. He's been there time and time again the past couple of years. So, but at the same time, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. I love Bam Adebayo too. But Jimmy Butler getting his first ring would be absolutely amazing for him and for all of his fans that have seen him through the slumps and all that jazz. So either way, we would have a really good post win speech from both of them. I doubt it's not Jokic or Jimmy Butler who gets the MVP. I just feel like it's got to be that way. Yeah. So game 3 tomorrow, and then game 4 will be on Friday. So you're listening to this, you don't know what happened on Friday yet. unless I put this out on Friday like I did last week. But that's probably not. I'm saying it's probably not going to happen. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get this one out on Thursday. Don't worry about it. And let us know who you have in the rest of the games. Do you have the Heat taking it, or do you have the Nuggets just coming out hot, staying hot, and focusing or exploiting Miami's weaknesses? Who do you got? So I'm pretty sure you said. No, we both said Nuggets probably going to take it.
Yeah,
last week.
Honestly, I thought it was Denver in 4, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought this was going to be a very quick series, but with the Heat, I mean, both games have been close to where, I mean, the underdog dream is there.
It is there.
And, I mean, winning that one game in Denver, that's huge.
Oh, yeah.
And if they can come out hot in 3 and 4, and they take game 3 and 4, and they take a 3-1 series, I think they take it in 6.
Yeah, they could.
I think the Heat will. I mean, that's if the Heat can come out hot and win it at home.
Yeah. If they can build up the lead, because I mean, it's kind of dangerous because if you go up 3-1, we've seen 3-1s get defeated. We've seen that happen. So it's not a guaranteed win.
That's why I think it would go to 3-2. Game 5 would go to the Nuggets at home.
Yeah.
And then I think going back to Miami, I think with the home crowd behind you, I don't think the Heat lose that game and the Heat would finish it there.
Maybe. But they didn't do very well in their home court game 6 of the last series. So, but this is the finals, probably there's nothing really to look forward to. I think they just got ahead of themselves last series against Boston. They're just like, all right, we're done. We're destroying these clowns. Let's look to Denver. They'll never say that they did that, but
they 100%. At 3-0, they started looking other ways.
Oh, for sure. And then
we're paying the price.
Yeah, and then Boston started to get their momentum, and then probably after the game 6 loss, because I'm not sure if that was a blowout or not. It was.
I'm telling you right now, there had to be a butt chewing in that. In that locker room from the coach.
Yeah, for sure.
That they were like, we're not losing game 7 because if we lose game 7, we might not be here next season.
Yes. So I mean that's really all I have, but Adam Silver did come out and they do have the verdict on Ja Morant, but they're going to wait on his verdict until the NBA final, which, you don't want to give the NBA finals their respect, their, pomp and frill. You don't want it to be overshadowed by Ja Morant, who's not even in it. And, I mean, he wouldn't be in it anyway if he was still playing, but they were still in it. But, so people think that it's probably going to be like a 30-game suspension max. I think that's a little too lenient. I mean, Stephen A. Smith the other day said to someone, I forget who it was, but if David Stern, the old commissioner of the NBA, was still at the helm, Ja might be out of a job permanently. At least for a year, he might be out of a job.
I wouldn't be against that, to be honest.
You and I, we both have called for it in the past, and it might sound harsh, but
it's harsh if it was the first time. But now, this is strike 2.
Yeah.
And to me, strike 2 has to be something serious. And strike 3, to me, if there's
you're
a
out
strike
of the
3,
league.
You're done.
Yeah.
There's no more chances.
Right.
So, I mean, I feel like strike 2 has to be something serious.
It has to be.
A year of no playing, no pay, I think is required.
I think it's for sure required. And it's not that much of a big deal. I mean,
1 year, no.
He would think really it's a big deal. But, I mean, not really, because he's getting paid millions and millions and millions and millions. And, I mean, we've already seen that he's pretty irresponsible, so maybe he's wasted all that money already.
That's what I mean.
It's possible.
That's his own problem.
That's his own fault, exactly. So he's got to grow up.
You got to invest.
Exactly. He's got to grow up, invest his money. Don't be a dumb kid.
You can tell he likes to party, so I guarantee you that man is throwing money away left, right, and center.
For sure.
I think that if it's anything less than a year, I think they did it wrong.
I think so too. And I mean, Yeah, because I mean, an NBA season is 82. No, more than that.
Yeah, it's more than hockey.
80. Is it 88? 86? What did the Warriors go that one time? 70. No. They went 73 and 7. So 81 games. It is like 81, 82 games. Maybe they went 74 and 7. That's not the right math. It doesn't matter. I think there is 82 games.
82 games, yeah, the same as hockey.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, because I mean, even that's not even half the season. Even 32 games suspension, which is what's also getting thrown out. That's not even half the season. And I don't know. I mean, easy. 41 games, half the season. That would even be. I'd be kind of happy with that. I'd be like, okay, it's half the season. That's fine. But I mean, I've been seeing articles left, right, and center about like trades for Ja Morant and like.
Yeah, I would not trade for him when he's in this.
Why would you want him at this moment? His
I wouldn't do it.
Why would you want that? Like, I saw a ridiculous trade for him. I mean, probably because his stock is down right now. Like, people are saying these crazy trades for like Boston and Memphis. Boston gets Ja. Memphis gets Jaylen Brown. Like, those two players are not the same. Like, we know what Ja Morant is capable of, and we know what Jaylen Brown is capable of. There's probably more ins and outs to that deal, that fake deal. But I mean, if you're the Nuggets, I would also not even get rid of him because I mean, even if he does have to do a full year suspension, he's still a phenomenal player. I mean, no one can take that away from him. He is insanely talented and gifted. Memphis has embraced him the entire time he's been a Grizzly. And, I mean, you know, for however long he takes, that front office should be on him constantly, even if he's not playing, especially when he's not playing, because who knows what he's going to be doing when he's not playing. They need to be on him like they're babysitting a 3-year-old at a water park. Like, it needs to happen. Like, he cannot be trusted, honestly. I mean, especially with the friends that he hangs out with, the people who he associates himself with, he can't be trusted to make decisions for himself. Yeah. So that's all about Ja Morant. We'll stop it there. All right, let's Zamboni on over to the hockey segment of the show. Zamboni?
Everything you could have went with, you went with.
Yeah, I was trying to go for a traversal pun there. It's pretty good. It's not bad. You didn't think of the Zamboni coming out. You didn't think that was in my bag of tricks.
You know, I gave you one earlier. And now I feel like this takes the point away.
No. I'm in charge of the editing. That point stays. It's right there.
Well.
Where did I just point to?
You just pointed to the
Polynesia.
That's okay,
where I just pointed.
You know, fantastic.
Yes. Anyway, Hylander, what's going on with the NHL? What's going on in the finals?
Nothing good if you're a Florida Panther fan.
What?
Right now, they're down 2-0 in the series.
Oh, my. I was watching game 1, and I'm pretty sure they were ahead in that game, weren't they?
Well, they were up.
They were at one point.
Long.
Oh, yeah, they did get tied. Oh, yeah, I do remember that now.
Let's see. Oh, that's game 2. Game 1, they lose 5-2.
Oh,
in Vegas.
Oh my!
And in game 2, they lose 7-2.
Am I
in Vegas?
Am I about to get this prediction right? Golden Knights.
And then hopefully on Thursday when they go back to Florida, hopefully the Panthers can get something going because
I mean they're not used to trailing. Have they trailed once?
Yes,
they
were down.
Okay,
they were down 3-1 to Boston.
Oh, that stings.
And yeah, they came back from that.
I forgot that we were ahead of them 3-1 too.
And so that was when Bob came in, and Bob ruined.
I need a moment.
The Bruins' life. But yeah, the Panthers are not looking good right now. This is also showing reason of why I do not like the way that they handle expansion teams. This is just proven more fact that I feel like NHL needs to change the way that when they add expansion teams that they do it. Because again, this is Vegas' fifth, sixth year in the league, and this is their second Stanley Cup final appearance.
Yeah.
Seattle, literally, this is their second or third year in the league. They made the playoffs.
Second year, I think. Yeah.
It's just, this is one of those things again where I feel like the fact that when you make an expansion team,
because they get to pick a player from each team, right?
Every team,
I mean, and every team can save one person, right?
No, you can only protect 10 people.
Oh, 10. Okay.
That includes goalies.
Yeah, but that's not many people.
So you're going to be getting a good player.
Yeah.
From team.
Yeah. That's like saving your entire first line and your goalie, and then picking and choosing between the third and fourth, second and third. Yeah.
You also get a top 3 pick in the draft.
Oh yeah, that's sure.
So I don't understand how they think that this is an okay thing. I just want to point out, Vegas' first year in the league, they were in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah. So you're probably getting a pretty solid second line person from each team, second line person. And
who's good at scoring goals.
Yeah, and that's your first line right there, pretty much. You know, you get a good pick in the draft. He could probably join your second line, or he's a goalie maybe.
You're going to get a veteran goalie that one team doesn't want to protect.
True. Yeah, you're not wrong. I forgot about that.
I mean, I was going to point out, Vegas' first year in the league, they had Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because Pittsburgh didn't want to protect him. Which is one reason why Vegas made it to the finals that year.
Yeah.
But it's just the point of, I feel like expansion teams, for lack of term, need to be punished more when they come into the league. Like the fact that they just are set up for success right off the rip.
Yeah.
Seems kind of unfair. Especially when you see all these other teams that have been struggling for years, aka Buffalo Sabres.
Mm-hmm.
A team who, I mean, let's be honest, Buffalo Sabres have not had a good season in I don't even know how long.
Hey, if you're the Buffalo Sabres, you just take a year off from the league, just like I'm gonna dip out this year, and you come back and you get you get all the picks in the world.
Why at this point, I'd be calling the NHL up, going, "Can I be the new expansion team? I'm ready."
Yeah, for like $25 million, if not more.
Listen, at this point, I'm about to call him. But listen, we'll start up the Jacksonville. I can't think of the team right now.
Jacksonville Jalopies.
Well,
I don't know why that came in. That's not an animal. I thought that was an animal. That's an old car.
You know what?
Jalopy.
You know what? I'm bringing in the Atlanta Aardvarks.
Okay, yeah, I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
I mean, look, Atlanta lost the Thrashers, so they need a team back in Atlanta.
Yes. Which I heard. What team? They want Arizona to. I mean, Arizona's definitely going to move to someplace else, but apparently Atlanta is one of the options for Arizona to move to.
I don't know if I'd like the Atlanta Coyotes though.
Yeah,
I feel like they'd have to change. They'd have to change everything.
They would have to change that for sure.
I mean, then again, they did do that with the Atlanta Thrashers. I mean, they didn't go become the Winnipeg Thrashers; they became the Winnipeg Jets.
True, you could probably change the name.
Maybe the Atlanta Thrashers come back.
Ooh, that'd be cool. That'd be kind of cool.
And somehow we're off on the way to swing, batter, swing.
Okay. And you said that mine was bad. That
wasn't my transition.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead.
No, that's just me saying what's up next.
Go ahead. I'm ready.
We'll see. Now, I'm going to hit a ground ball right at you, right into the baseball news.
And you're out. Because I'm flinging that thing to first, and you're gone. You're done.
What if I was on my way to second?
How would you hit you just sprint down the center of the diamond?
Listen, there's no rules in Little League.
We're not playing Little League. Oh, okay.
It's the only way I look like an all-star. Little Timmy throws a pitch, and I'm just gone.
Hylander cracks a ball right to me at second, and he's just charging down the center of the diamond to second. He's like, I'm safe.
I just take out the pitcher on the way to stiff arm him.
Oh gosh! All right. Well, no one would know what's going on there. But unlike people not knowing what's going on, I want to shift focus to an umpire that knows what's going on.
Oh no!
I want to give a nice little shout out to Chris Guccione. Unfortunately, it was against Boston, and Boston lost against the Rays. But this man had an overall accuracy behind the plate of 99%.
You know, I gotta say, I think 1 is a strike.
Yeah, I mean, you could call 2 of both of these were supposed to be strikes. These are the only 2 calls he missed the entire game.
Oh,
the entire game. He only missed these 2 calls. Everything else was perfect. Actually. Yeah, and that is amazing.
I feel like 2 could be a ball.
Right. Because I mean,
feel like
typically
outside.
Typically, the ball accuracy is pretty good, because he's only 1% above that for average umps. But the strike accuracy, 100% strike accuracy, is just ridiculous. Average of 88%. He said this is how you do it. I mean, only 50 called strikes in the entire. Wait, 0 of 50. Yeah, he only called. There was only 50 strikes in the entire game in the entire game. That can't be right.
I feel like
it must be right.
Wrong here.
Well, there's 160 total pitches. So yeah, I guess that could be correct. That could be correct. Yeah, okay. Because you normally go, you throw a ball to get the batter to, to reach.
Yeah, that is usually how you play baseball.
That is how you play baseball. Unlike running straight up the middle to second, Hylander.
Again, there's no rules in Little League.
Well, we're in the MLB, buddy, so get a hold of it.
I'm definitely not.
So I don't know what this relative accuracy, well, I guess I do know what that means. But overall favor, I'm not sure what that means. I mean, I guess
runs for Boston.
But that's like a bad thing for us, I guess. We lost by 3 runs, so I don't think this .24 runs is going to help us much. So the actual score was 4 to 1.24. Thank you very much. Get it right.
I mean, you're playing Tampa. I mean, what else is new?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were done. I mean, we did win 1 game against them this series, which was nice. I thought we were in for a little action against Tampa, but then they just came out and.
I go to the MLB website and get breaking news immediately.
Breaking news? What do you got?
It just says breaking news: DeGrom to have surgery on torn UCL and right elbow.
Yeah.
Don't know who DeGrom is.
He's a pitcher.
That's terrible.
Yep, he's one of the better pitchers actually in the league.
Oh, for the Texas Rangers.
Jacob DeGrom. Yep. He's very weird. Nope, that's Greinke. Never mind, that's Greinke. DeGrom's fine. Wow. You're fine, DeGrom. I'm sorry. Wow. He loves this show. He emails me every day. I know.
Does he?
Yes, we're best friends. Anyway, let's look at the standings for the MLB. We have a new runs leader. Well, maybe not new. Maybe they have been the runs leader already. It's not Tampa anymore. They're not in the lead of runs anymore. Texas has overtaken them for 380 runs for, 227 runs against. 153 run differential. That is just gross. Tampa still has the better wins, more wins.
Austin.
Yeah, but well, you and I only flip-flopped here, so it's really not that big of a deal.
It's bad for the fact that you're about to be negative.
Maybe. I blame Tampa for that one.
And you're losing to Cleveland right now. It is about to be negative.
I talk about Boston. Thank you very much. It's my team.
Listen, I'm sorry. I'm just seeing the obvious and realizing it's gone downhill.
Yeah. So honestly, the race for the AL East is very tight because even Toronto here at 4th is only 3 games back, and that is just
we're not making top 2. I'll tell you that right now.
Nuts. You might be because Baltimore they're 2 games back and they are tied with the Yankees. 2 games back.
Huh? Wait, what?
Wait, plus 2.
I was like, how are they tied with the Yankees? Their records are completely different.
They are completely different. I don't know.
I was like, wait a minute.
Why plus 2? What does that mean?
I'm like, look at their win percentage. I was like, that doesn't add up.
Why plus 2? I don't understand. Anyway, AL East. We talked about this last week. Love them. Love the AL East. AL Central. Minnesota's still on a tear. Cleveland behind them. I'm pretty sure this is the same. I'm not going to...
Okay. Everyone in the Central is negative except for Minnesota.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You would be first.
Oh, my. Oakland.
Oakland's bad.
Oh, okay. Well.
Oakland is bad. But that's no surprise to anybody, honestly.
Does Oakland know the rules of baseball? Or are they running up the middle like me?
They're running out the clock until they move, pretty much.
Oh, well.
They're just like, it doesn't matter what we do. We're getting sold. So it's fine. So, yeah.
True. You know what? They're going to Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. Texas, which I still haven't looked up anything about the move to Vegas. I said I was going to, but I'm a dirty liar.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Texas, 39-20. Nearly double positive. Pretty amazing stuff from them. But Houston is right on their tails. Houston finally getting some life in them. Aside from the first little bit of the season where they didn't quite know how to pick up a bat. Angels behind them, then Seattle, and then Oakland is
not even playing. They're not.
They shouldn't even be getting paid. Honestly, they really shouldn't be. You could probably bring up the best team in the AAA right now, and they would probably smoke Oakland in a best of 3.
I feel like we could literally pick up a random team of players, and we could probably beat Oakland.
Probably like a high school all-star team might be able to beat Oakland.
I feel like we pick up like past baseball players that are now like our age that used to play baseball. We could probably put a big fight against them.
Right, it's possible.
That's embarrassing.
Yes. So
you know what? That's the definition of the bad news Bears right there. Bad news A's.
Yes,
that should be a movie.
Yes, I thought you were talking about. Okay, anyway.
Okay, well.
NL East. Atlanta's up here still. Miami
though,
right there.
I'm telling you, there's somebody check the water.
Somebody's doing something to the water. Mets are at 30-30, then Philly, then Washington. Pittsburgh is top of the Central. Still top somehow. I mean, I'm pretty sure Milwaukee was here last week. I don't have the before and after.
Pittsburgh did go down 1, and then
yeah.
So
then we got Cincinnati, Chicago, then St. Louis. Not very good. Arizona, D-backs.
This is a shocker to me.
They overtake the Dodgers for first place.
That's a shocker to me.
They overtake them. And, Diamondbacks are continuing to play ball like they've never played ball before.
Hold on. You're telling me that the Oakland A's are that far back from everybody else? There's not one other team that's close to them.
No. Not a single team.
Like,
every single team has double their wins or more. Except for Kansas City. Never mind.
In like hockey,
there's Kansas City for you, 18-42.
Okay, well,
so kind of close.
How is Kansas City doing that bad?
I don't know. I haven't really heard much about them at all. They're just bad, I guess.
I thought they had a decent team.
I don't think so. I can't recall a single player on that team.
Apparently not, because they're 18-42. But
right.
I mean, listen, we're still at the start, not even halfway through the season, and Oakland's already got 50 losses.
I mean, yeah, Tampa's almost have 50 wins. And Oakland has 50 losses. So I can't wait for the Oakland A's to be no longer. I hope it's next year. I really do. I don't think it will be.
I really don't think so, because, again, they just got,
Honestly, next year, crazy theory I'm about to say. So this year, with Oakland just tanking because they can tank and they don't care at all, we should punish them. The Oakland A's should be relegated to a AAA team. And the best AAA team should be what's that word? Not relegated.
Relegated?
Is it relegated?
Yeah, relegated.
I thought relegated was going down. Or is it both?
Oh, relegated is going down.
Yeah.
Like that would be what Oakland does. They do relegated.
Right. Anyway,
because that's what happens in like the Premier League. Like
whoever goes up,
worst team goes, and then they get promoted.
Thank you. Yeah. So whoever the best AAA team at the end of the year should get promoted to the MLB just for 1 year, just for one until the Vegas stuff gets into play. Then you can go back to being an MLB team.
I gotta say, I think Oakland fans are happy with this. What do you think?
With what I just said?
No. With the move. Look at my screen. There's apparently this was happening at a baseball game recently.
More baseball, less greed. Rooted in Oakland. What?
The donkey.
Oh.
Yeah, the other word for donkey. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, so what are they? They're mad at the managers? They're mad at the owners?
They're mad that they're moving from Oakland. So
what else are you going to do?
Yeah, like, it's not like the Raiders situation where the Raiders were actually, like, selling out their stadium.
Not terrible. Yeah.
And the Raiders still move, which I can understand why fans would be mad.
Oh,
like, Oakland
sure.
Raider fans, I don't blame them for burning their jerseys and stuff like that when that happened, because all those years of, like, going there when your team was ending like 5 games and still selling out the stadium, and then your team still moves on you.
Yeah,
I'd be mad too about that.
Go to the games, Oakland people. Oh, yeah. Go to the games if you want them to stay.
That's the problem with the A's. It's just
they're probably super cheap. You could probably get behind home plate for like $15.
I could look that up right now if you want me to.
It's probably not that much. It's probably like 60 at the best.
I don't know. Right behind the Tampa Bay Rays was $60.
What?
At one point, the other day I looked.
Oh man!
So I have a feeling you're gonna look at like
my spot in left field was like $60 at Atlanta.
June 9th. Looking at SeatGeek right now, June 9th game. The cheapest price for a ticket is $5.
Not sponsored by SeatGeek. We could be.
No, but $5 is the cheapest right off the rip.
Wow.
Let's see. Right behind home plate for row 1, right behind home plate, $167 each.
Oh, okay.
For row 1.
That's really not that bad in the grand scheme of things.
I just want to point out row 4, right down the third base line, $99.
Okay.
I don't know how that one's expensive, but okay. You know what? I'm starting to see why they're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
It's the fans that are deciding that they're going to buy the tickets and try to sell them for more than what they're worth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you know what? Everything makes sense all of a sudden.
Excellent stuff. Yes. Oh, bit of news that I forgot to talk about until just now. So Willie Calhoun. So this is not really MLB news. It is because it involves an MLB player, but it actually is Call of Duty news at the same time.
Oh.
So interesting stuff. So the show The Flank for Call of Duty, which is Zuma, Tommy Paparazzo, Zuma, former player for mainly FaZe. He has a show called The Flank, which has been a big success for the past 3 seasons, including this season, where they've really gone into it. And he just, he reviews matches. He watches. He's a very big part of the scene, and a lot of foot traffic goes to him. And he's just a great dude. So Willie Calhoun for the New York Yankees, left fielder for the New York Yankees, came on The Flank. And I was like, what? Why? Why are you on The Flank? Apparently, Willie Calhoun has been a very big Call of Duty fan for years. His first Call of Duty, Hylander, what do you think it was?
Is what now?
Willie Calhoun's first Call of Duty that he played. Which one do you think it was?
I'm going to say World at War.
World at War? Nope. It was COD 4.
Okay, so yeah.
So COD 4 was his first one that he really played.
Wait, COD 4
I think it was after World at War.
No, because
I
started at World at War.
Oh, maybe it was after COD 4. Yeah, maybe it was after COD 4 then. I'm not sure. I was after both of those games.
Yeah, World at War was my first one.
I really came in at like MW2-ish.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
you missed a lot of the good stuff.
I missed a lot. Yes, that's true. Yeah. So and then he got into competitive Call of Duty in MW2 or MW. No, yeah, MW2. Yeah, not the newest one, the old one.
You know what? If you don't know anything about video games, this is where things can get really confusing.
Yes. Two games that have the same exact name, but they're like 15 years apart.
I feel like there's like 3 different games that have like the same name now, and it's like,
yeah,
you're trying to confuse us. What's going on here?
Yeah. So he has been a big fan of the Call of Duty eSports for a number of years now. And apparently he's also interested in like playing, not professionally, because obviously he's a professional baseball player and he has no time for that. But he plays like S&D challenger matches, like wagers, and he plays with guys like challengers guys. Like he's played with like Dan Ghosty before. He's played with the people like who ProLoot. And all those guys, like they know who he is, like they have played together, and I just thought it was really cool. I'm like, dang, like we need more, because I mean, professional athletes, obviously play video games. Like I mean, a lot of them do play video games. A lot of them now kind of stream on Twitch too in their downtime, which I think is really cool. And I think Willie Calhoun could like maybe get into that if he wants to. He expressed interest in buying a CDL spot when his time in the MLB is over. He said that he could see buying a spot, like, you know, being a GM. And so the flank asked him what team he would select, like if he could choose anyone, like, and so he did 2 teams, one of all time and then one of current players now. And his team, let's see, for best of all time, he picked Scump, Zuma. What else did he pick? What was the AR? I think he picked Dashi and Karma. That was his squad of all time. Pretty disgusting squad.
I don't know if that team would do good. Too much ego.
Oh, it would. It would do great. Because Scump and Zuma in World War II was almost a thing. But and so his team of now players, he picked Draza.
Makes sense.
Draza, Pred, Hydra. Who else did he pick? Oh, Abizi. Yeah.
That's actually sick.
It's disgusting, yeah. Yeah, but anyway, so I thought that was cool that he appeared on the flank. It was only for a little interview, and then they continued on with the show. But yeah, Willie Calhoun on the flank. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I think Call of Duty has done some things with like celebrities and like sports personalities in the past. Mainly when it was like the CWL, I think. But I would love to see more of that. Like that'd be really cool. Yeah, but that's all I got for the MLB segment. With the MLB out of the way, let's throw a forward pass into the NRL.
Must be that female ref on the sideline again.
We've got Regal here again. He left.
I don't think we do.
He's gone.
We don't.
I'm not. I can't.
He's gone.
That was terrible. Well, come on, man. You can't bring that. You can't bring that to me.
I was going to point out A's picked up that I did a pun. I did a pun when I sat there and even said like the whole thing. You got to give it a try.
Okay, I made a try joke last week, and you were not happy with it.
No, you did not do a try.
You guys just. Oh, you just don't need to do it. You just don't need to do it. It's fine.
I do.
We can do it. We can just not do that.
You bullied me into it. They're bullies.
There's no.
You saw it here, ladies and gentlemen.
We here off the cuff do not condone.
Or
bullying.
you listened to it here, ladies and gentlemen.
You don't understand. JT's actually the bully here. He actually yelled at Regal because Regal wasn't up on time.
That is literally false.
I was not here fashionably early or fashionably late. I'm here unfashionably on time.
You're not wrong. You are right on time.
I'm right on time.
He just hops in thinking that I'm paying attention. Thankfully, I was. And I was able to get him into here. But
yeah, I believed in you. I think you were fine.
Yeah. I noticed as soon as it was a thing.
Look, it's not episode 1.
It's not. That's true.
Episode one was episode 1. JT.
It was an ordeal. I wouldn't have figured it out.
He'd still be on his own channel.
That's true.
Okay, no more bullying, JT, and let's get right in to the origin round. I'm going to set you guys a timer again because I like that. I liked that last time. I'll give you 10 minutes this time to go for the... do you think you'll need 10 minutes for the origin game?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'll give you 5 minutes then.
Listen, I'll give
you might
you
not
2
even
seconds.
need that. Well, I want you to go into a little bit of detail.
Queensland domination.
Was it though? Because I watched the game. I did. I watched not the entire game. I watched highlights and like a little condensed version of the game. And I honestly thought that the Blues were going to come back. I really did. They had all the momentum, and then they just it was like watching an Eels game. They just lost it.
I predicted it though.
If you look at the the tries scored, we literally lost that game in the last 10 minutes, and we lost that game because of James Tedesco.
Oh.
That is the whole reason we lost that game. Anybody that disagrees doesn't know anything about any NRL. Take that, Andrew Jones.
I disagree. Just kidding.
Okay. we lost that game in the last 10 minutes. It was a pretty good competition up until that point. Like, it was pretty much always a 1-score game. Outside of the first 10 minutes where Queensland put up 2 tries before we got our first, but going into halftime, it was 10-6. So 4-point game.
Right.
But yeah, we lost that game in the last 10 minutes, and it was James Tedesco's fault. He botched both of the tries, both of the try saves, and he lost us the game.
Actually, I have a good question for you, Regal.
It's way too early in the morning.
Going into Origin Game 2 right now, what's your feeling on the fact that the Blues might be without Cleary?
That is an interesting question. To be honest, I haven't given it that much thought because we have so many potentially good backups. Like, obviously, Cleary is the best halfback in the game at the moment, right? There's very few people that would be able to disagree with that. Hines being like very close second, but still only in his second year starting, so people are a bit sort of shaky on it, I guess. But between people like Adam Reynolds and having Cody Walker and also having Hines, like, we've got a number of options that we can stick back there to make it a close game. So I'm not too worried that would be out Cleary, at least for game 2, maybe even game 3. We don't know yet. It does make it more challenging for sure. But I think if Cleary is the only person that we're losing, we've got good enough talent to back it up that we're not losing too badly. You know what I mean? We're still losing for sure. But we're not, like, if you stick Adam Reynolds back there and Cody Walker, I think that might be the good new halves duo to stick back there, because obviously they played their time together at the Bunnies. So they know each other's play style, and they were successful. Yeah, so I think that would be the best duo to stick back there for game 2, because without Cleary, there's no reason to have Blue Eye there anymore.
I remember Blue Eye was saying that he's excited to pair up with Hines for game 2. And I was like, that just seems like a weird pairing.
I agree. I don't think they would be putting, especially being down a game now, I don't see them putting 2 halves in that don't have synergy together.
You have to have some kind of chemistry down, especially because game 2 is going to mean so much now. Like,
it's a necessary win for the Blues for sure.
If the Blues lose game 2, game 3 is just honestly just like look, we're just here for fun at this point.
Yeah, it will mean nothing. Yeah, no, I like if they go Hines and Luai for game 2, the Blues will lose for sure. And if we do win, it's because State of Origin's rigged. I'll say it.
I think it's going the distance to a game 3.
I think it will as well. I think
again,
it should.
Again, like you said, it makes more money that way if the last game is for something.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think it was like Cleary being out for as long as he is going to be was, part of the plan, if you know what I mean.
No, 100% not.
Assuming that is the case where, they always try and make Origin go to game 3 for the money, which isn't even really a secret. Like you look back at the history of Origin, in my entire time watching Origin, I feel like I've only ever seen a team win game 1 and 2 maybe once or twice in the last 25 years.
There always seems to be some kind of sketchy thing that happens where it just doesn't make sense, but a free try happens, and you're just like, huh, well that's the game, and I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. Although I say that 2021 and 2018, the Blues both won game 1 and 2.
Oh, well there you go. It wasn't part of the script that year, apparently.
2016, Maroons won both game 1 and 2. Actually, it happens a lot more than I thought. 2014, Blues won game 1 and 2. So I guess even in the last 10 years, it's happened, 4 or 5 times.
Didn't even do his research. Unbelievable.
I woke up 5 minutes ago. Leave me alone.
Regal, come on. It's 9:05 p.m. Where are you to, bud?
Yeah, it's actually...
It's 9:06?
Yeah.
It just turned to 9:06, as you said.
It did. It really did. Yeah, it just ruined me. But that's the 5 minutes gone for Origin.
Yeah.
So, good job, boys. And
I also would like to point out
to give Highlander an F grade on explaining Origin.
What?
I didn't know that it was over the course of 3 months or 2 months-ish. I thought they were 3 games in the same week.
No.
That'd
be terrible.
I know. I thought so too.
Also, I did notice one error in the Origin thing. It was not something that Apex would know. The Origin isn't based on where you're born, which is really stupid. That's where it should be based on.
It's not?
No, it's based on where you play your first grade game.
Huh?
Because that's why there's Jerome Luai is he's not even Australian. He's an Islander of some sort. Wait. Same with Junior Paulo. He's an Islander.
I'm confused.
So they're born in Papua New Guinea or wherever they're from.
So you're telling me that technically speaking, Olam could have been in Origin if his first game was in Australia?
Yes. In theory, yeah. If he got selected.
That's insane.
Yeah. Okay. So it's entirely based on where you play your first grade game, which is
interesting.
I always thought it was where you play your first junior game, so it has more weight to it. But I looked it up the other day after I saw what you guys were talking about, and it said it's where you play your first grade game. So
that's interesting.
There always seems to be a bit confusion about it because even a lot of commentators, like NRL commentators, are but they're from this place, so how? And then people just don't get confused and just leave it. So I don't think anyone really knows, but that's what it's meant to be.
Listen, one thing I've learned from my time watching the NRL, sometimes you don't listen to the commentators.
Everything is up to interpretation.
Yeah. And I mean, 1 minute we watch the game, the next thing you know, the commentator's talking about the Mr. Chang's Chinese restaurant across the street.
Sure, that did happen.
That's good commentating,
and it happened for a while too.
And then the one time the game was so boring, they were talking about John Cena for a whole hour.
Yeah.
Can't see him, so might as well talk about him.
Well,
I guess so.
All right. Well, let's get into the matches of this past week. I got 8 minutes on the clock for you boys to go over the matches for this week. So no rush.
I think I need 8 minutes just to go over this first game, to be honest.
The first game. Well,
I'd also like to point out that the women's game one of Origin also happened, and the women's Queensland's women's team also won game 1.
Okay.
18-10. It was a very thrilling
game. Clearly Queensland is cheating.
Okay, well.
In your non-biased opinion, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
In my non-biased opinion.
Yeah.
Clearly
you know what is really funny about this, by the way, ladies and gentlemen? I was going to point out that this man is a Queenslander.
He is.
Yeah, he's rooting for the New South Wales.
Not by choice.
What do you mean?
It is for sure your choice. What do you mean?
What does that even mean?
No, not by choice. I'm a Queenslander.
Well,
Like I was the only member of my family born in Queensland up until my niece.
well, yeah. See, that's where you got to go against your family and be the Queenslander fan.
No. All right, game 1 of last week. I just want to start off by saying the Tigers were robbed. The Tigers were insanely robbed. It is
you know what?
there.
They weren't the only team this past week that was robbed, to be honest. I just want to point that
Melbourne
out.
As well.
We'll get to there later on as we go through these games.
But the Tigers Raiders game was actually a very good game, very competitive game, like the whole way through. Oh no. Quite the opposite, actually. I forgot how this game started. It was actually the Raiders were pretty dominant until
there was
a sin bin. That's right. I forgot about the sin bin. Tom Starling got sent to the sin bin at the 67th minute. I still feel like Tigers played decently well, like for the start of the game. They had some errors, but honestly, altogether, compared to what they have been playing like this season, it wasn't that bad. And then the sin bin happened 67th minute. 2 minutes later, Dream Buller, not even a minute later, Dream Buller gets in for a try. 2 minutes after that, John Bateman. 2 minutes after that, Brandon Wakeham. And just like that, in the matter of 4 minutes, the Tigers had tied the game. It was pretty insane. And then there was a last-minute penalty, or something that should have been a penalty that wasn't called, where who was it? One of the Raiders players took out one of the Tigers players on a kickoff, and it was just completely ignored. That would have been the penalty that would have given them 2 points to win the game. And then there was something else that happened. I can't really remember exactly what it was that happened after that. But yeah, it was just kind of silly and really poorly refed. Anything to add to that, Highlander?
I honestly, I think you said it best on that one.
Yep. I'm surprised there haven't been anybody come out, like any officials from the NRL come out and say something about it, because it was atrocious the last 5 minutes, how that game was refed in the last 5 minutes of that game.
I mean,
it genuinely felt like, oh, the Tigers are going to win this game.
Was it the same ref for that game as the Bulldogs game? Do we know?
The Bulldogs game from the same week?
Yeah, last week.
Because
if it's the same refs, then it makes a lot of sense.
There's a way to tell before the game who the referees are. I don't know how to check after the game.
It's not in like the match center, Hylander?
Let's have a peek here. Match center.
It should be a team, to be honest. It isn't.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
There they are. Yeah.
So Gerard Sutton.
Jared Sutton for the Tigers Raiders game, and then Ashley Klein for the Bulldogs game. So no.
Okay, so no, they're two different. Yet they still had the same bad calls. That's pretty impressive.
And two of the more senior referees there as well, like Jared Sutton and Ashley Klein. Ashley Klein was the referee for the Origin game, So, that was it was just a really, really badly handled game. Tigers should have won that, and they didn't, and it really sucks.
Moving to the Warriors Dolphins, there's not really much to say here except that the Warriors just
straight
beat up.
Down.
Yeah, they beat up a Dolphins team.
Sean Johnson now owns a pet dolphin, I swear.
Well, it definitely does seem like it, to be honest.
The Dolphins are going kind of downhill from their hot start, huh? They're kind of going.
Well, I mean, they lost a lot of people with Origin, and a couple of those players got injured as well during Origin. So
Tom Gilbert is out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's one of their top forward guys. So that hurts them.
Sean O'Sullivan, the starting halfback from the start of the year, still hasn't returned.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be coming back in the next couple of weeks, but they've lost a lot of players to injury, so it's hard to really sort of batter them with that. But I mean, they are going downhill.
Then we had the Titans Bunnies, where the Bunnies were losing this game at halftime, and again another strong second half where we saw the greatest winger in NRL history. I'm going to say Alex Johnson gets a 3. He gets another hat trick in his career. Honestly, it's not even biased. It's Alex Johnston is going to be the greatest winger to ever be in the NRL.
Assuming he keeps up the like frequency of scoring that he has the last couple of years. Yeah, he's
only he's what, fourth all time right now, and he's only 26.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, yep. He's doing him good.
Yep.
This game, Sharks Broncos,
it was just terrible, to be honest.
This game was one of those games where two good teams played terribly.
Both so many knock-ons, so many errors. Yeah, it was just it wasn't.
There was a point where I zoned out in this game, I want to say.
Yeah, I think we actually went and started playing Rocket League or Overwatch or something because that game was just terrible.
Think that did happen, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't very happy
now,
with it. Oh, this the Broncos.
This is the game. This is the game of the week for you guys, wasn't it? That you called last week, Roosters Broncos or
this
Bulldogs.
Game
Roosters Bulldogs
was highway robbery. I like to call this game how the ref screwed the Bulldogs in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Bulldogs make a great pass, which I'm telling you right now, the Bulldogs player was gone for a try most likely. Ref calls it forward. You watch the replay. The ball was not forward.
It was nowhere near forward.
Wow.
Was not a forward pass. Later on in that moment, what's his name? Burton does a kick. Adokar is running. A Roosters player literally takes his way, moves into Adokar's area, and pushes him over.
Mm.
The ref, right in front of the ref, doesn't call anything.
That's what I was thinking of. It happened in the Bulldogs game, not the Tigers game. Tigers still got
Adokar got pushed right in front of the ref. And you can, we watched this in slow motion multiple times, everyone and I. You can see the Roosters player move to where, like, his lane and reach out and push him physically.
Yep.
And yet they didn't, nothing.
Yeah, Nat Butcher clearly, like, eyes him up, moves, like, Adokar's trying to run straight past him, and he pulls his shoulder out and, like, clotheslines him, basically.
Yeah.
Dang.
It
should have been a penalty, which would have put them in
right in front of the
2-point field goal. They got robbed in that game.
Yep.
It was honestly, Roosters did not deserve that win.
Yep.
1 minute to go, boys.
Cowboys Storm, I mean,
atrocious game. Terrible.
Nothing really to say there.
45-20, like an offensive slaughter? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Yeah,
it was just a Storm just kind of didn't play.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at the 5 tries between the 43rd minute and the 71st minute from and Melbourne ended up just giving up at halftime. Really, I think.
Wow.
There just was no hustle. There was no no
loyalty, no respect.
Okay, well, and then Panthers Dragons. I mean, this game, honestly, believe it or not, this game was a lot closer just because Cleary got taken out.
Yeah. Yeah, this game.
This game would have been a blowout in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But as soon as Cleary went down, the Penrith just forgot how to play defense.
And he went down at the start of the game. Like, you can see, the 12th minute was he kicked the goal. I think he was off by the 15th minute, and it was still only 6-0.
I believe so. Yeah.
So, like, the Dragons weren't down that much. They had most of the game to come back, and they just didn't. So it goes to show that, like, Panthers without Cleary is still better than the Dragons.
But at the same time, though, there was a lot of times the Dragons hurt themselves where a better team would have probably came back and won this game because the Panthers defense just absolutely forgot what defense was. And again, it happens after Cleary goes off the field.
Yeah,
I don't know how one player can decide your defense, but apparently it does.
It was easy to see how much of a difference he makes in that team, for sure.
And then, going into this week, Titans, Tigers. I'm going to go Tigers on that one.
Pretty 50-50. If Tigers play the way they did at the end of last week, they should win. But if they play how they played at the start of last week, I'm going to go Titans.
This should be a good game.
I'll probably give it to Titans, to be honest.
Raiders, Warriors. I want to go Warriors, but I feel like Raiders are going to take it.
I don't
home game for the Raiders.
to win. I don't want that game to happen, to be honest.
The Raiders have climbed all the way to 6th place. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
for
don't worry.
them.
Don't worry. They'll crumble.
Yeah, actually, just for that, I want the Warriors to win.
They'll crumble. Don't worry. There's a reason why they're called the Faders. Don't you worry.
True.
Manly versus the Dolphins.
Manly has Turbo back this week.
Manly wins this one by
They're
a
paying
lot.
like $1.30 for the win too. Yeah, so it's at home too. Yeah, it's going to be a domination. I hope, to be honest.
Bunnies Dragons. Well, I feel really bad for the Dragons fans. They're about to be watching their team possibly get absolutely slaughtered.
Dominance.
Yep.
Even without Latrell,
one-way traffic.
The Bunnies are still gonna just. I mean, the Bunnies' forward line is just gonna absolutely just destroy them.
They didn't have Latrell last week, and they still put over 40 points.
Listen. At this point, I believe in Taff.
Believe in the heart of the Taff.
Broncos Knights. This is another game that should be a blowout as well. This should very well be a Broncos domination.
Yeah, they've decided to stick Ponga at fullback again. I don't know what's happened with
Miller.
Yeah, Lachlan Miller, but he's just lost favor, I guess, which is weird. He's been playing very well this season.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I have this one being the game of the week. I think for me, Roosters Panthers.
I got the next one being game of the week.
Without Cleary, I think Roosters take this. Honestly,
could do. Yeah,
just because again, the Panthers defense for some reason gets lost without Cleary.
The Roosters do have Daniel Tuba back on the wing, which is nice. They're starting that young guy, Junior Pauga again.
Okay.
Otherwise, Manu Cleary. Yeah.
Listen, as long as it's not Junior Paolo, they got themselves a good winger.
Yeah, without Jackson, yeah.
Or whatever buddy's name is, Jackson. Listen, no Bunnies fan remembers that man's name.
He's your favorite player. He's your mate.
So you have Storm Sharks as your game of the week.
I think so.
That looks tough.
Assuming Melbourne plays properly, which there's no reason they shouldn't. Yeah.
I have Sharks.
I think it should be a close game.
I think Nico Hines gets his revenge.
I think Sharks are a better team, but because it's a Melbourne home game, I'm going to go Melbourne.
I'm going to go Talakai for 3.
Okay, dude.
The disrespect.
If Talakai gets 3, no,
Wait, we don't have Olam. Why do we not have Olam?
Yeah, well, see?
Why don't you?
Talakai for 3.
Oh, no, we've got Grant Anderson starting. Oh,
see?
Yeah, no. Talakai for 3.
Yeah, see? Told you. Eels, Bulldogs. This game, actually, I think will be a lot closer than people think. I mean, the bet thing has it where the Eels are the favorites. I mean...
That game's on Monday, too.
I feel like this Bulldogs team could do it at home. I mean, the Bulldogs again are a team that love to compete.
And the Eels love to try to come back from behind all the time, so.
It's honestly, again, as crazy as it sounds, it's going to come down to how Burton plays.
I think it's also going to come down to whether or not Eels have Dylan Brown, to be honest.
That's, you know what?
Because he might be stood down by the time that game
happens. That's... I mean, Moses without Brown, I don't know what that team looks like.
I think they'll still be a good team, but not like Dylan Brown is a pretty...
It's going to take them a while to get that. Because the thing is the halves are kind of like the quarterbacks when you really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you lose one of them, you lose your synergy a little bit, where it's like, no one's going to come in and fill in that role perfectly. It's just not how it works.
Dylan Brown was the one who was accused of inappropriate touching, right? That's the guy.
Yeah. 5 counts.
5 counts. Jeez.
My Lord, Lipton Larry. Before you know it, Jackson Mahomes will be following him.
They're best buds.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think one side of the field's going to do fine and the other side's going to be a bit of a struggle. But they do have RCG back, which is
that's
RG3. I love that guy.
No.
Didn't know he was playing.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I almost said Regan Gillard Campbell. I don't know why, but I almost I just said it backwards. Yeah, no, I thought I'm gonna choose the Bulldogs in that situation. I think the Bulldogs, especially that's just because of the home team.
I hope the Bulldogs win that game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to become a Bulldogs fan, maybe because it's Matt Burton on my my NRL fantasy. But
I mean, I'm becoming a fan of Adokar.
Yeah, you gotta love Adokar. He's just
like,
except for that brain snap that he had at the end of the last game, with that kick, that was just atrocious.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but I mean, in all fairness, that was also after my man got cheated out of, like getting a call right in front of the ref. To where, at that point, I don't even know what I'd do at that point. Him doing a mess up kick idea, honestly, is just him being like, "I'm over this game. Let's just pack it in."
Yeah,
Adokar is one of those guys where, win or lose, you always see that man smiling. Man just has like a great personality.
He loves the game.
Honestly, Adokar does. He's just that kind of guy.
Moving on to the esports. Or Highlander, did you have a esports pun for us? Because you had one last week, and it wasn't that great. I'll be honest. I expected more from you.
What? Me?
Yeah.
Hold on. I was going to point out, have you heard your puns?
Well, okay, how about this one? Let's lag on over to the esports section of the show. Don't give me that face. That was an amazing pun. Let's lag. No. Regal, stop. Okay, well, I'm getting bullied again. Let's move on. Last week, I said wrong about the Vivid Boston trade. I did clear that up. I did insert myself into the edit. I inserted my own voice into the edit to say that I was wrong. But I'll say it again. So Snoopy, Challenger player Snoopy, comes in for Vivid.
Cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, I'm literally wearing a Snoopy shirt as we speak.
Fantastic.
That was not planned. It just happens to be what I'm wearing. And so, yes, Challenger player Snoopy comes in for Boston, getting rid of Vivid. At this point in time, I mean, Boston might be up there for the most roster changes in 1 year. That was held by the Thieves back in Cold War. Who knows? I mean, I'd have to look at the amount of roster changes that Boston has had. I still feel like it wasn't as many as Thieves had that Cold War season. That was a rough season for them. But, yeah, I mean, Highlander, why didn't Boston just bring back Nero and Vivid and Beans and Kremp? I mean, maybe that's not exactly no, I think that was the correct roster that got top 4 for them. Was it not?
I feel like there's just panic as the champs.
Yeah.
And I feel like any kind of roster change right now is actually a bad decision.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there should be any roster changes at all anyway. I feel like when you're going into champs, there should be a roster lock that is impassable, which apparently there is.
I want my players to know like their favorite, shampoo, body wash. Like they gotta be knowing each other like perfectly by now.
Right. So
you start doing some roster changes this late, you're done.
Yeah. So apparently there is like a soft roster lock that's in place, but you can get around that if a player wasn't signed to an actual like CDL contract. So Snoopy, he was a Challengers player, and he wasn't really. I don't think he was signed by Boston. So like he wasn't an actual like signed player, right? And he wasn't tagged as a substitution, obviously. So you can only bring up substitutes if you want. That's why they're there to substitute in and out. But you're not supposed to bring anybody who's not your substitute from your roster. So I guess you just pick up somebody who doesn't have anything going for them, which doesn't make any sense. A lot of people in the CDL don't agree with this like weird roster situation that you can get around, like the soft lock of the roster. And I don't either. I honestly think that before Major 5 or before the last major of the year, that should be the roster lock. Like if you the same roster you go into Major 5 with should be the same one you go into Champs with. I don't think that's hard, especially because we're only 2 weeks away from Champs right now. I'm pretty sure 2 weeks away. And like, how can you? I honestly think that if they had kept their same roster with Vivid, they might have a chance to upset Optic. I mean, nothing's impossible. I mean, at least that team knows each other a little bit. But like, you bring in this random challenger, 18-year-old challengers player, Snoopy, from Mexico, I believe, and like, so he's not even like integrated to American culture. He's just coming into America. Like, I mean, why would you put this kid in this position? Because if he bombs out, like, that could be devastating for his career, honestly. I mean, like, the one thing you have going for yourself is a Champs Optic Texas match, round 1. Like, that is not the play that you bring in a fresh Challengers player into. That's just disrespectful, honestly. Like, I would be upset.
I don't like it.
No.
I don't like the whole... Again, I don't like switching this late.
No.
I don't care. Like, I get, like, if Vegas, or not Vegas, if London, for instance, was still been able to be in Champs, I can understand a change, because that team has been terrible all season long. It really has. But I feel like if you're one of the top 8 teams, or whatever it is, top 6, top 8, whatever it is that made it in the Champs, there shouldn't be changes. Again, the chemistry should be so good that you have no doubt that your players are going to be at the top level with each other.
Right.
I mean, there's a reason why the LA Thieves are as good as they are. Because they've been together now. Can't even think of how many years. It's been a long time since they've done a change.
Yep, the past 2 years they've been together. Yeah, you're not wrong. And I mean, apparently this decision wasn't player-based either. It was straight from the coaches of Boston. And we've seen that happen before, and it's never a good thing that comes out of it. I mean, the coaches, sure, they're supposed to know what they're doing, but like, you force a change on your players when they don't want it. Like, what does that do for your chemistry? I mean, it's just nothing. Like, especially, it's just insane. That's like someone pulling your starting wide receiver and placing in one of the backups just because you have a good feeling that he'll do better against this matchup.
I just realized their first game is against Optic.
Optic, yeah, exactly.
They're done.
I'm sorry,
be. Boston fans, they're done.
They should be. But, I mean, they're not done immediately, which is good. Everyone has a true double elimination.
0-2.
They probably will, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. It would honestly... It would make sense if they go out 5th through 8th.
Yeah, because they'd be facing the loser of Minnesota versus New York, most likely.
And those are not easy games either. I mean, they lost to Minnesota in the first round of Major 5. So both teams... If Minnesota gets past New York, that's a team I don't want coming down is New York, who's going to be angry. Major 5 champions? No.
When they play angry, we know what New York does.
Exactly. So, so talking about a little bit more of the CDL, sad news came out today about a new deal that was cut with the CDL for next year. Next year's matches are going to be streamed exclusively on YouTube.
That's the biggest L that they could take.
Yep. They signed a new 3-year deal with YouTube for CDL. This has been the greatest not viewing experience, because I do think YouTube has a better viewing experience, but the people aren't there. YouTube Live is not good enough to bring people in. It's it's impossible to find people on YouTube Live. They don't have a dedicated area of YouTube just for live. Like, why not? How hard is that?
Wasn't it 2 years ago that they were all on YouTube?
Yes, the past the entirety of the year up until this year. So for MW 2019,
I watched a total of, I think, 1 day. Well, it was on YouTube only, really.
Yeah,
because I'd always forget about it because YouTube doesn't tell you.
No,
whereas
if you subscribe Twitch, and ring the bell, then it will. But
the thing is, I do.
Oh,
that's the best part.
Yeah,
it just I go to YouTube on I'll just be scrolling YouTube, browsing, doing my thing, and all of a sudden, after I've watched my 8th video, all of a sudden it'll be like, Call of Duty's live, by the way.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh wow, I caught it at the very last game of the thing.
Yeah. So it's a really unfortunate. I mean, the amount of money that YouTube must have paid to get Call of Duty to re-sign, either that or they were just angry that Scump out-viewers them every time. I mean, yeah, it's insane. I mean, since CDL has achieved record viewership figures, hitting over 330,000 peak viewers during Major 3. 330,000! That is insane. And it's only a number that you can hit on Twitch. No matter how good the YouTube viewing experience is, I watched a lot of it when it was on YouTube because I didn't have a Twitch. I canceled my Twitch and I didn't have one for a number of years. And YouTube was something that I had, so that was the only reason why I even watched it. I didn't even know that that CDL had franchised and did all this stuff until one day I was like, man, what's going on with competitive Call of Duty? And then I got this information flood at me that I was just like, oh, they franchised. Oh, they're on YouTube. Oh, they're playing. They're location-based now. Oh, this is all so weird. But I'm here for it because I only have YouTube and here I am. So it was fine for me, but for the average eSports watcher, they go to Twitch for everything. And I mean, Twitch is where they have everything. Twitch is where we are right now. And we're not live streaming on YouTube. We could be, but that'd be even harder to get noticed than Twitch. So this is an extreme
to speak on that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Is the same reason why I forget about the Overwatch League.
Right.
Honestly, I them being YouTube exclusive. When I get online most of the times, the first thing I go to usually is Twitch to see who's live.
Right.
Then I go to YouTube, and when I go to YouTube, I start watching videos because it's not like in your first couple boxes, oh, by the way, this thing that you're subscribed to, they're live. Check them out.
Right.
No, it'll pop up randomly after you watch a couple videos. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, by the way, they're live. They've been live for the last 4 hours. It's like, oh, wow, fantastic.
Yeah. So just to give a little preview of what a watch party. So someone for Scump, for example, right? Someone like the Flank. This is what the viewing experience will be for a watch party.
Yeah, how does that work now with them?
I'm going to show you how it's going to work. This is how it's going to work because this is exactly how Zuma and the Flank did watch parties when they were on YouTube.
I'm actually worried.
This right here. Their face cams were right in the center of the entire action because they didn't have the rights to show the gameplay. So they covered most of the gameplay with their cameras so you could still hear the gameplay and you could watch along with them.
They're going to be terrible.
Unless somehow they got Scump in a deal or unless somehow they got Zuma in a deal. And I don't know how it's going to happen. They must have to stream on YouTube then as well because they're not going to want people to stream on Twitch when it's on YouTube. So unless Scump and Zuma or anyone else who does watch parties, CDL, hit us up. We'll go to YouTube for you. Unless any of those big streamers start on YouTube for a watch party, they're not going to get picked up as a watch party host. And so let's get this terrible thing off the screen right now.
I don't like that at all.
No, it's a terrible watching experience, and
ruining. See, this is why I don't understand why they can't just do both like they've been doing.
Exactly. And
it's like doing both is fine.
Right. Which apparently
doing exclusive makes no sense to me.
I think I saw that. Right. Okay. So exact details of the exclusivity deal are not yet known, though reports at the time of the original deal cited a $160 million valuation over 3 years for YouTube to stream both OWL and CDL.
Like, I was going to point out the topic right below it. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, it's not worth it because you want growth. I mean, you were already a dying eSports. You were a dying franchise league. And this year was your one chance that you've had to actually start growing again. Every single owner, probably except for FaZe, Optic, and Thieves, are losing money. Every single organization is losing money.
I mean, look at the Gorillas.
They're out because of that. Because they can't make a profit. And I wonder why. You spent $25 million to get into this league that has no infrastructure, that has no plan.
That has to be lowered because...
It has to be.
Because to me, there needs to be more than, 12 teams?
Yep, 12 teams.
There needs to be more than 12 teams. I'm sorry, but if you want to franchise the right way, as much as I hate to say this, but you kind of have to do what every other sport league is doing. If you want to copy sport leagues, which is what they said they wanted to do when they first franchised, well, then you ought to have 32 teams or close to it. And we're nowhere near that.
So apparently, Nadeshot also tweeted, you would be shocked by how little the CDL is being paid for exclusivity. You'd be shocked by how little they're being paid. Well, I mean, 160 over 3 years, if that source is correct. Quick math now, JT. Quick math now. That's a little over $50 million a year.
That's
53.
That's less than what a
53.3 repeating.
Makes.
Yeah, 53.3 repeating million dollars per year. And that's not much.
I want to say that's less than Josh Allen made
in a year. I feel like that's not.
I think so.
Maybe.
I feel like
I guess it depends on what year of the contract, but
I don't know what Josh Allen's contract.
I feel like he's not making 50 a year. He might be though. It's very possible.
Okay, so this year he'll be making $39.8 million.
Okay.
So
it's close. It's close.
Close.
But still, I mean, what's that 50 million gonna do? That's two of your teams. Like, that makes up 2 spots of the CDL. Like, you're getting an extra investment of 2 spots from the CDL. And I don't know. Like, where's that money going? Like, what are you using that money for? Is it just for paying people? Is it for paying off debts? Is it like what is the money going towards? Because I mean, I think we're in a pretty solid groove of the watching experience for the CDL. So there's not much more to be changed with that. What are you giving? Where are you putting that money? Like, what is the big deal? So I had commented on a Tactical Rap video because he had talked about, like, what would you want to see if the CDL expanded? What would you want to see if they drop? Because there's talks about dropping the state, or I mean the city names and going back to just regular team names. I actually don't mind that, because what's the point of city names if you're not in the city?
Yeah.
Most teams are in like Dallas. Like, most of the teams are in Dallas. They're in Texas. And so what's the point of having city teams if you're not going to have city events? I mean, I'm pretty sure the only teams that are in their respective states were the Gorillas, are the Thieves, Toronto, Boston, Florida, London. Is London in London? I feel like they're not. They can't be. There's no way.
I don't think London's in London.
I don't think so either. No, they're pinging way too well to be in London. So, like, most of the teams are in Texas. So I would say you should take over one, like, not state, one city. And not like a major city, like a city outside of a major city. And make that CDL HQ, where teams are. like every team has their own building or like their own workspace, not like a big campus, but like an actual city where like, they can go out and they can find their own offices, this kind of stuff. You set up your own personal LAN in your center, and you can travel around to the other teams. So like it's kind of like an away game because you're not in your own setup. You're at the other team's setup. It's still a LAN. It would be a LAN, which would be even more fair for qualifiers. And a team could host, like 2 or 3 other teams to come for the weekend, and they could scrim them for the weekend. Like that is, in my opinion, one of the greatest ideas that the CDL could do to make things super fair. There would be no onliners talk anymore. There would be no sound equalization, fugaze talk, because everything would easily be checkable and enforced on LAN at these personal LAN centers. And it just makes sense to me. I mean, I would love to see that. Yeah, I don't know. W take, L take? I don't know. I think it has a lot of potential. Maybe a little hard to pull off. Probably a little janky in the first year that if they do that. But I mean, you adapt.
I hate to say it, but I don't know if there's anything to save Call of Duty.
No.
Like, as much as like Call of Duty means a lot, because I mean, again, it's how we met.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those games that, as younger, spent hours upon hours, multiple all-nighters with the boys, just grinding the game, having such a fun time with it.
Yep.
But as much as I hate to admit it, every year I'm watching Call of Duty fall more and more. And I don't know if it can be saved now. Like, I know they keep trying to save it. And in a weird way, I know a lot of people are like, oh, the franchising, kept it alive and gave it a new birth. And I don't know that it did.
Right.
I feel like it helped it, but it also helped kill it faster.
Yeah.
Because you went into it with this mindset of something, and it just hasn't played out to what was promised.
Right.
Especially because I want to say when they first did it, like, oh, we're going to start off with this little bit of team, but within a couple of years, we're going to have a franchising thing like the NFL and all these other professional sports. And we don't have that.
No.
And again, it's because, I'm sorry, but the average Call of Duty fan does not have $25 million just sitting around to buy a spot into the league.
No.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I know I don't have $25 million just sitting around for me.
I've got $24.9 million, but it's not quite $25 million. No.
Where's my cheddar?
I've got $24 in my pocket.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I mean, like, even just businesses, like business owners, business investors, like, why would they put $25 million into something that barely makes a profit? It never does. Like, why would they do that?
They just look into it and they can see that COD has declined over the years.
Red flag galore.
Well, yeah, why? I'm sorry, but if I was a very rich person,
yep.
Even if, let's say I was an athlete,
yep,
and I had the money to do it, all right, I'm looking at Call of Duty and I'm going, will this be here in 8 years, 10 years? I don't know if I can put $25 million down.
Yep.
And then 3 years, Call of Duty just goes, you know what? Sorry, we had a good run.
Working. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good run. Sorry, we're done.
Yeah, that'd be infuriating.
Oh, yeah.
But let's move on. I've got some Halo news coming from the Dreamhack Dallas. Finally, we have some Halo news, right? So yeah, Halo news. So this time we did not see Optic Gaming take it. Optic Gaming placed third in this, elimination bracket. Outed by Space Station. who then went on to face FaZe Clan in the grand finals, where FaZe Clan ultimately took it 4-3. Very close grand finals here. Space Station almost forced the bracket reset. So that's how Halo does it. You have to bracket reset. You can't just win one in the grand final. You need to win 2 best of 7s.
How COD used to be.
How COD used to be, correct. I guess if it was, it'd be 2 best of 5s, I guess. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. FaZe Clan finally get it done. They finally secure a victory because they've been battling with Optic for the last good while now. Especially because I'm pretty sure it was Optic versus FaZe in the first major of the year. But, Optic won 3 majors back to back from last season to this season. And, they won the last major, they won the Worlds, and then they won the first major this year. And then you have a 3-month gap in between. 3 months. That is insane. That is that is unexcusable. That should not happen. And what was Halo thinking? There was just nothing. There was those online whatevers those were.
Speaking of dying
in the MCU of Halo.
I feel like Halo is trying to hang on by a thread as well.
Right. Which is so sad because this game is so good. And the way that this game came out, it completely subverted everyone's expectations about what the game was going to be. It was finally a good Halo after years and years and years of Halo just falling off as the Halo that once was, So for them to take this opportunity to not have an event for 3 months, which is why I think Optic probably didn't make it here, because 3 months of not anything really crazy going on, you're just scrimming. That's all you're doing. And maybe some 2Ks, 4Ks. Yeah, we definitely did cover some of those. But what's the point? What is the point of those 2Ks and 4Ks? It's just like an online qualifier match for Call of Duty. It doesn't mean as much as the major. And so I'm saying give Optic this time to bounce back, and they'll probably be a formidable team because they're playing again in just a couple of weeks. They have another major in a couple of weeks. This is the Optic major, I'm pretty sure, coming up in a couple of weeks.
At least there's something happening.
I don't have the MCU graph up right now, but I'm pretty positive because Scump said that on his watch party because it was cool. Scump actually went to the Halo event and did a watch party of that as well, which was very exciting, very cool. It was nice to see them go there and show some support for the Optic Gaming guys and Halo. Bring some fans to Halo because guess what? It's on Twitch. Makes sense. Congratulations to FaZe. They do it. This is the total breakdown. They win $45,000, $30,000 for Space Station, $15,000 for Optic, $10,000 for Native Red. Which honestly, Native Red, I'm surprised they made it that far. Kind of weird. Optic had a very tough group stage as well. They were against very good people in their groups, so they were tested and they were looking pretty good until the actual bracket came into play. And then, it wasn't enough for him. But we also have some Rocket League news in the CRL, Collegiate Rocket League, World Championship. Dr. Boomin. That's the team name. That's not one person. That is the team name.
Hold on.
Dr. Boomin. I don't know. They're a European team.
Big fan.
Big fan, yeah. So apparently last year's CRL World Championship, not a single European team got top 8. Not a single one. And this year, a European team comes in and wins it all. So, pretty cool. I didn't really watch much of this since it's CRL. I'm not that really interested in the CRL, to be honest. Sorry for those CRL fans, but, my heart's where the RLCS is at. And speaking of RLCS, we've been going through these Spring Cups, and the OCE region finished up their Spring Cup as well, where we saw, I didn't think it was this far down before.
Okay, wow.
We see Ground Zero take it over Power. So
this is the Oceania?
Yes, Oceania. Yep.
Okay. So this is the Regal tournament area.
It is. Yeah, I think Regal's on. Let's see, what team is Regal on? Pretty sure Regal was on Supremacy here.
Where's the postman?
Not here. Regal.
Wait,
Regal's on Dumb Luck Esports.
No, go down.
What?
Small Duck.
Small Duck Highlander. That's your team.
What am I doing here? I got 3-1 in the loser bracket.
You did.
I got 3-0 in the first in the winners bracket.
Oh no.
3-1 in the. Oh no.
Oh, what are you doing?
The Small Ducks. You know what? Big fans.
Spring Major will take place in Boston, Massachusetts on July 6th through the 9th. July.
How in the world is a spring happening in July? You know what? I'm apparently a spring baby now. Look at that.
You are. Yeah, yes, you are. And I was always a spring baby, apparently. So they're also talking about World Championship tickets. They're going to sale today as of recording. And that's in August. It's in Germany. Okay, wow. August 3rd to the 13th. I loved watching the World Championships last year. So.
Oh, I like the name of that town.
Dusseldorf?
Yeah.
Dusseldorf?
Why do I like that?
It's pretty good. It kind of rolls off the tongue. So those are the two things coming up on the docket for RL Esports. And that's all I have for esports. Highlander, do you have anything?
No. Again, the madness thing for Overwatch doesn't happen until, I believe, the 15th is when it starts. So
I think you're right.
There's still some time on that.
Or it's this weekend. Is it this weekend?
No, I think if I remember correctly, I want to say it was the 15th. I can have a quick little boo.
A boo.
Mid-season madness. Let's see, June 15th. Yeah,
June 15th. Okay. Yep. Should have doubted you.
That's in South Korea as well.
Oh, South Korea. Nice.
Yeah, where multiple things are international for some reason. I noticed.
Yeah, you're right.
I like it.
Well, that's what happens when a franchise does the right things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it also depends because we only have American Call of Duty pretty much. There's no other regions, That'd be good.
I just want to point out though, one of the best players in Call of Duty right now is not American.
Nope, he's French phenom.
Well, yeah, there's the French and then there's also the Australian. But
true. A lot of good Canadian players too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Off the Cuff, episode 12. Can't believe we're already up to episode 12. It's been a fantastic show. It's been a long show over here on Twitch. Hopefully it hasn't been that long for the YouTube and Spotify, but, time will tell. Sorry if it's pretty long, but, if you have a free couple hours on Tuesday nights, come join us over at twitch.tv/offthecuffpod every Tuesday, not every night. Every Tuesday.
Yeah, that's
at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can hang out with us and talk to us as we record the show. So that's Twitch. If you're here on Twitch and you enjoyed the show, give us a follow. If you're watching on YouTube and Spotify and you're listening on the auto sites and you enjoyed it, make sure to add us to your feed. Subscribe to us, add us to your feed, like us, whatever you got to do to get, informed that we post another episode or we go live. Follow us on Twitter and join our Discord to discuss with us. And all of the links that you will ever want or need is going to be in the description box down below. And so while you're looking at those description boxes, just, hit those like buttons and subscribe buttons and whatever else you got to do. So until next time, I'm JT and he's Highlander. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.